morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday Morning Melodies. You're with Mike Baker. I'm here with you for the next hour. And we're broadcasting into the community on behalf of the Hume Conservatorium. So I'm pleased to be with you every Monday morning at this time to start the week with a song in your heart. What better way to start the week? We're coming to you this morning, as we do every week, from Goulburn, New South Wales. And looking out my window today tells me that it's pretty grey and wet. It's by no means cold here, but we had a pretty good downpour overnight. And they've predicted a lot of rain, haven't they, for this summer? It's one of those events, I never know, you might know better than me, is it El Nino or Nino or... Anyway, whichever one it is bringing rain to us this year. So let's get underway. I'll play a little bit of a tuneful instrumental for you. This is a song that Louis Armstrong, sometimes they called him Louis, sometimes they called him Lewis. I believe he liked to be called Lewis, but he was happy for whatever people called him, as long as they appreciated his music. And this is one that you probably know. What a wonderful world, and what a wonderful title for a song to get us started into a week of, music, hopefully there's a lot of music in your week. That was our opening number for this week's episode, or edition if you like, of Monday Morning Melodies. So, I'm inspired to find a song about the rain that we had overnight. Oh, but I better back announce that last one too. That was What a Wonderful World made famous by Louis Armstrong in that movie, do you remember, with Robin Williams? Good Morning Vietnam. Classic movie from a few years ago now. But it won a lot of awards, that movie, and especially that song. So, I'm also reminded that I think we might have had a Louis Armstrong tune come up. You know, when we do our little explore of the alphabetical book. And we were in the D's last week from memory. There was a song there that Louis Armstrong had a hit with. Do you remember Dinah, that girl? She was pretty particular. Dinah, is there anyone finer in the state of Carolina? If you know and you know, send it to me now, Dinah, with the gypsy eyes blazing. Oh, how I love to gaze into the eyes of Dinah Lee. Oh, every night, why do I fuss and fight? Because my Dinah might change her mind about me. Dinah, if she traveled to China, I would catch an ocean liner just to be with my Dinah Lee. That was one we opened up last week. Couldn't resist that. Two Louis Armstrong songs for you there. One that he made very popular back in, I'm going to say probably the mid-30s. Dinah, is there anyone finer in the state of Carolina? Well, if you know her, then send her to me, because she must be a pretty good gal if she's finer than Dinah. I love the way that moves. And if you're a YouTube person, get on there and have a look at Louis Armstrong performing that one. He does it a whole lot quicker than we just did it then. Anyway, nice to have you on board, everybody. And part of our brief, actually, the big part of our brief here with Monday Morning Melodies is to get some music out into the aged care sector. And it's not just that part of the community, though. Really, anyone who's at home or out and about and you're plugged into this Facebook live stream, we're pleased to have you. Even if you're there in the kitchen this morning, and nice morning actually to be in the kitchen, isn't it? Not much point being outside today. Not much point being out in the garden today. Very good day for being inside and getting some nice cooking smells going. That'd be great. All right, so this is a song that I found. It's a very old song, but I love the sentiment of this one. I get the blues when it rains. The blues I can't lose when it rains. Each little drop that falls on my window pane always reminds me of the tears I've shed in vain. I can't lose when it rains. Oh, each little drop that falls on my window pane always reminds me of the tears I've shed in vain. I sit and wait for the sun to shine down on me once again. Now, rain when I found you, rain when I lost you, it's why I get the blues when it rains. That's why I get the when it rains. I couldn't even tell you who performed that one. It's so old. Oh, I've got a comment coming in here. Nice to have you with us this morning, John Crean. John's down there in Melbourne. I'm just thinking today's the 23rd, isn't it? 23rd was the day they were going to open the border down there on the Murray River. So that, it's a big day, isn't it, for the families that are getting back together and friends that are visiting. So I'd like to send out a special hello to all of our friends in Victoria. They've been doing it pretty tough for quite a few weeks now. And it's just fantastic news to know that I don't think they even have to wear their masks outside anymore down in Victoria. So life's gradually getting back to normal again. And I'm glad, John, that you could join us this morning for a little bit of the Monday Morning Melodies. Okay, well, what was I doing on the weekend? I went to see a terrific piano player called Don Hopkins. He was playing here in Goulburn at the Goulburn Club. And one thing Don and I share is a love of Fats Domino. In fact, I've got two favourite fatties. I love Fats Waller too. So I think I'm going to play a tune by each of them today. I think I'm going to play a Fats Domino song for you a bit later. But I think now I'm going to play for you a Fats Waller tune. And this is one of his that's called I Ain't Misbehavin'. Poor fella hasn't got much going on in his life, so how could he be misbehaving? No one to talk with, I'm all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I know for certain the one that I love. I'm through with flirting, baby, it's just you that I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, going nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Well, believe me, honey, I don't stay out late, I got nowhere to go. I'm home about it, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Baby, I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. I know for certain the one that I love. I'm through with flirting and it's just you I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, going nowhere now, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me now, honey, I don't stay out late, I got nowhere to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. And you, and you, and you, and you at home too. Yeah. The Fat Man, Fats Waller, what an entertainer. I like to look up the old black and white movies. He starred in quite a few of them actually. and he was quite the entertainer, was Fats Waller. Died fairly young, like a lot of the good ones. I'm thinking there too of George Gershwin. George Gershwin dead at 37 in 1937. And how much creativity he poured into his 37 years. Gave us magnificent music like a Rhapsody in Blue, Summertime, heaps and heaps of songs that he wrote with his brother Ira. We'll find a Gershwin song sometime soon too. Now, what I like to do each week, some of you would know, especially if you've been here in previous weeks, is to find some kind of a traditional Australian folk song. This is a folk song that we sort of adopted, but it's from the English point of view. It's about a girl who wears a black velvet band. I'll just do a couple of verses of it, but you might know it. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I thought her the pride of the land. Her hair that hung down on her shoulders, tied up with the black velvet band. In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound. And many's the happy sweet hour I spent in that dear old town. And one day as I was walking along my usual beat, a pretty young maiden came tripping along the street. And her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I thought her the pride of the land. Her hair that hung down on her shoulders was tied up with a black velvet band. One day as we were walking, a gentleman passed us by. I could see she was bent on some mischief by the roving of her dark blue eyes. Gold watch she picked from his pocket and slyly placed it into my hand. I was taken in charge by a copper, bad luck from that black velvet band. Her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I thought her the pride of the land. And her hair hung down on her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Before the Lord Mayor I was taken, your case, sir, I plainly can see. And if I'm not greatly mistaken, you're bound for far over the sea. It's over the dark and blue ocean, far away to Van Diemen's Land. Away from my friends and relations, and the girl with the black velvet band. Well, her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I thought her the pride of the land. And the hair that hung down on her shoulders was tied up with a black velvet band. So come all you jolly young fellows, a warning now, take it from me. If you're ever out on the town, me lads, beware of the pretty Colleen. She'll fill you with whiskey and porter until you're unable to stand. And the very next thing you know, me boys, it landed in Van Diemen's Land. Well, her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I thought her the pride of the land. Her hair hung down on her shoulders, tied up with a black velvet band. Let's do the chorus again, will we? Oh, her, help me out. Oh, her eyes, they shone like the diamonds. I thought her the pride of the land. And her hair hung down on her shoulders, tied up with the black velvet band. Boy, there's a moral in that story, isn't there? I guess one moral might be things are not always what they seem. That gal turned out to be something other than what than what she might have been advertising to start with. So we've adopted that as an Australian song. It's sung out here a lot because it's about someone running foul of the law back in Ireland. That was back in Belfast. You might have heard me mention that in the lyric. And how that occasioned the poor old person in her company, the storyteller, ending up in Van Diemen's Land. That's the Australian connection with that song. It's a beautiful melody and a bittersweet sort of a story, I think you might agree. That was the Black Velvet Band, and we'll find another traditional song for you next week. All right. Let's, here's a song you might remember. Now, hey girls, gather round, 'cause of what I'm putting down. Hey baby, I'm your handyman. I'm not the man that uses pencil or rule. I'm handy with love, ain't no fool. I fix broken hearts, you know I really can. And if your broken heart needs repair, well, I'm the man to see. I'll whisper sweet things, you tell all your friends, they'll come running to me. Here is the main thing that I want to say. I'm busy 24 hours a day. I fix broken hearts, you know I really can. And if your broken heart needs repair, I'm the man to see. I'll whisper sweet things, you tell all your friends, they'll come running to me. Here is the main thing that I want to say. I'm busy 24 hours a day. I fix broken hearts, you know I really can. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. fell into a little bit of the James Taylor version there at the end. At least you can do that kind of thing anyway when you're playing on your own. Don't have a drummer or a bass player or a guitarist to worry about. You just find your own way through a song. And as I've observed before, if you come out of a bridge of one song and you're in another song, well, hey, I don't think anyone's going to want their money back, are they? All right, just a reminder, you're with Monday Morning Melodies here with Mike Baker. We make this a weekly date. I love getting out some of the old tunes, and I especially like knowing that there are people at the other end that mightn't have had much music coming to them over the last few months. So if you're tuned in, maybe in your recreation room, or maybe you might even be tuned in on your phone and you're bedridden this morning, we're very pleased to have you along, and we're very pleased to be bringing you some melodies to start the week with. Okay. Now, what I would like to do would be to revisit. I hold this up every week. This used to be my Bible when I was doing the restaurant jobs, and I take this with me. It's 1001 Hit Songs, and it's by the Alberts Publishing Company, who are a very big name here in Australia, and they gathered a whole lot of tunes together alphabetically, 1,000 of them. Did I say 1001? Yes, I did. And I would always have that on hand. People would come and sometimes make requests of me, and a lot of the time I could find the songs that I wanted in the book there. So we've been working through week to week alphabetically. We started with the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, the E's, and we're up to the F's actually. And now maybe this will be something that you remember. From a jack to a king, from a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won. Oh dear, I'm going to have to get these lyrics, a little bit easier to see. Maybe I'm just going to have to pin that there. I'd hate to lose the rhyme and have the song not make any sense at all. Let's just open it up a little bit. That might be a bit better. Let's try it again. From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won a queen, and walked away with your heart. From a jack to a king, with no regret I stacked the cards last night, and Lady Luck, she played me hand just right to make me king of your heart. For just a little while I thought that I might lose the game. Then just in time I saw the twinkle in your eye. From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won a queen. You made me queen of your heart. Just a little while I thought that I might lose the game, and then just in time I saw the twinkle in your eye. From a jack to a king, from loneliness to a wedding ring, I played an ace and I won a queen. Jack to a King. Gee, I can't even think who might have had the hit with that. A little bit before my time. Let's see when that was written. 1957. It was obviously a hit for, someone's going to tell me. And I might do some homework when we finish here today. Got a tune for you now. Comes from the great Benny Goodman. You know, before World War II, this is going back into the 30s now, and during World War II, the word jazz meant fun. It meant dancing, it meant parties. These days, modern jazz, and I like modern jazz is more about being a listening music than a party music. But back in the day, the original, when they first started the word jazz, they were very much on about partying. Anyway, the Benny Goodman band was one of the great swing bands, and the jitterbuggers would get out. It doesn't sound too good when you make that a plural, does it? The exponents of the jitterbug would get out, and they'd have, you know, the big flouncy skirts, and the guys would be slicked back and everything else, and they would really be out there dancing up a storm. Anyway, this was a hit for Benny Goodman. It's not one of his up-tempo ones, but it's a beautiful song called Moonglow. It must have been moonglow, way up in the blue. It must have been moonglow that led me straight to you. I still hear you saying, now dear, hold me fast. And I started praying, oh Lord, please let this last. Now we seem to float right through the air. Heavenly choirs seem to come from everywhere. And now where there's moon glow, way up in the blue, I always remember that moon glow gave me you. One for the piano player, eh? It must have been moonglow, way up in the blue. It must have been moonglow that led me straight to you. I still hear you saying, now dear, hold me fast. And I started praying, oh Lord, please let this last. We seem to float right through the air. The heavenly choirs, they seem to come from everywhere. And down where there's moon glow, way up in the blue, I'll always remember that moon glow gave me you. That moon glow gave me you. That moon glow gave me you. classic old Benny Goodman tune. It must have been Moonglow, way up in the blue. It must have been Moonglow that led me straight to you. Okie doke. Let's just pull things down a little bit. Oh, a long way down to the floor. Yeah, don't I know it? Okay, what about an Elvis song? What about an Elvis song, eh? And I don't forget too that I think I promised you a Fats Domino's song too earlier, so before we finish up today I've got to make sure I find some time for that. You'll know this melody. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life through, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Aren't the simplest melodies quite often the best? They are. I'm quite convinced of that. There again, if you've got a song that really gets people moving, it needs the rhythm, doesn't it? And the melody helps a little bit, but the slower tune really gets by on the melody. Here's a song with a very strong melody. This is called Love is Blue. Blue. That was a hit for the Paul Moriarty Orchestra, and I'm going to say late 60s for that one. It's since become a little bit of a classic, hasn't it? Yes, indeed. Okay, let's see if we can wind things up a little bit here. Let's see what we can do with a song like this. You like Creedence Clearwater Revival? Oh, I love their songs. Now early in the evening, just about supper time, over by the courthouse, starting to unwind. Poor kids on the corner, trying to bring you up. Willie picks a tune out and he blows it on the harp. You know this bit. Down on the corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing. Ring a nickel, tap your feet. Now, you don't need a penny just to hang around, but if you've got a nickel, won't you lay your money down? Over on the corner, there's a happy noise. People come from miles around just to watch those magic boys. Down on the corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing. Ring a nickel, tap your feet. Ho! Hits the washboard, people just gotta smile. Blinky thumps the gut bass and he solos for a while. Poor boy twangs the rhythm out on his calamazoo. Willie goes into a dance and doubles on kazoo. Down on the corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing. Ring a nickel, tap your feet again. Down on the corner, out in the street, Willie and the poor boys are playing. Ring a nickel, tap your feet. Pow! Oh, that should have got the blood coursing. I hope you were able to move to that in some way. Maybe the foot was tapping, maybe the head was bopping, maybe you got the shoulders moving, maybe you're doing a couple of laps of the kitchen. That was Down in the Corner. That's a Creedence Clearwater Revival song, of course. Of course, that's a real classic, that one. All right, let's make a little bit of room here for now. Oh, did I say something about a Fat Swallow song? I better do the, no, sorry, we did the Fat Swallow, didn't we? The Fat Swallow was Ain't Misbehavin'. And I'm going to think a little bit about this one. I haven't played this one for a while. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill, on Blueberry Hill, when I first met you. The moon stood still on Blueberry Hill and wondered until my dreams came true. The wind in the willows played love sweet melodies, and all of those vows that we made were ever to be. Now we're apart, I think of you still, when you were my thrill on Blueberry Hill. The wind in the willows played love sweet melodies, and all of those vows that we made were never to be. Now we're apart, I think of you still, when you were my thrill on Blueberry Hill. Bit of an old classic, that one, isn't it? Pat's Domino. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill, and wandered until my dreams came true. Oh, give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride through the open country that I love. Don't fence me in, let me be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, now don't fence me in, just turn me loose. Let me saddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountain rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses, can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Now don't fence me in. On my cayuse, let me travel my old saddle underneath the western skies. Just turn me loose, let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses, can't look at hobbles, I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Will we try the bridge again with the right words this time? I think we might. Just turn me loose, let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I reach the mountain rise. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses, can't look at troubles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Oh, apologies there to Cole Porter. Lovely Cole Porter song, that one, and gee, there's a lot of words to fit in there. Cole Porter was always pretty wordy, very clever with his words, but gee, try to put all these words together sometimes is a bit of a stretch, especially on a Monday morning. Anyway, good old song to move to, Don't Fence Me In. And we might have time for another one or two today. How about something to listen to? Let's try another one, we'll get this melody right. Sounds of Silence. Paul Simon wrote that, and Simon and Garfunkel had the hit with it, and it's become a classic, hasn't it? The Sounds of Silence. And the sign said, the words from a prophet all written on the subway walls. He had a way with a lyric, that man. And still does. He's still plugging along as Paul Simon. And, all right. What's one to end with? What's one that we could possibly... That's one that we could end with. This might be a good message. Let's see this one. Might be a little message for the week ahead. You see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed. And if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You've got to try a little kindness, yeah, show a little kindness, shine your light for everyone to see. If you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Don't walk around the down and out, take a healthy hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show along the way will help someone along the way. You've got to try a little kindness now, show a little kindness, shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, then you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. Nice message there for the week ahead, isn't it? There's a Glenn Campbell tune, Try a Little Kindness, as a song with a message. Folks, I've enjoyed your company today. And on behalf of the Hume Conservatorium, who helped to put this out there in front of you, and all of our friends out there in the aged care sector, the carers too, the workers out there, we know how hard you work and what a great job you do. And it's a pleasure for us to be able to bring some music to you at the start of your week with our Monday Morning Melodies. So I'm Mike Baker saying until next time, try a little kindness, eh?